even if I agree, I'm still wrong.
So yeah, I think Kim should go in the bin, man. I just don't get it, mate.
No! What's
get
that? Does that count as racist? I don't think it does.
But Kim,
and it sounds like
is Kim actually an Asian sort of? Because
I
there's a lot of Kims over here.
I believe it's.
I mean,
Vietnamese. No, but it's like short for Kimberly, whereas over there it's Kim. That's their name. That's their name.
You know what? I think
Kim
you
Possible.
made it. Yeah.
Would you recommend the book first of all?
No. And if I was to rate it out of 5,
Nobody asked you what you'd rate it.
I don't know. I just didn't care for it.
I said a very high one. That's why I said very high. Backman! A caped crusader by night and an author of New York Times bestsellers by day, including My Friends, the beautiful new novel that will make you laugh and cry. According to Goodreads. Challenge accepted. I haven't had a good blubber in ages. If you like stories about the challenges of youth and the obsessive enthusiasm of young art aficionados, then boy oh boy do I have the story for you. But remember guys, this is highbrow literature, not a Marvel movie. Don't go expecting the plot to go anywhere now.
Yeah, I've never heard of this author, but from what I understand, he seems to be quite established. He seems to be up there.
I think people who attempt this sort of thing do so because their heads up their own arse, obviously, because people obviously read and buy their books in thousands. So I agree.
We have been away for a couple of weeks, and I think it'd be okay to start with a little question. How are you, Joseph? Doesn't matter how you are. Pause this video right now. Go and read My Friends by
Fredrik Backman. And when you've read it, you can join us for the discussion.
Or you can join us anyway, because we're going to tell you all about it. My name's Elijah.
And I'm Joseph, and welcome to the Aisha Library. Welcome back.
So what did you think of the book?
I really did attempt to do my best.
It's not. I really did attempt to.
Nosedive. Set him up. I did attempt to see the good in it. To see the. I thought you would have bloody loved this book. I said, this is right for Elijah's alleyway because you're a disgrace.
I wish I did love it. Did you read any reviews?
No, I didn't actually. Funny enough, I read some. No, I read
glaze
some
in the book.
I read
glaze
some
in the book. I don't. It's assume it's a man.
What?
As the author?
Yeah.
He's got a lifetime supply of
100%.
blowjobs, mate. I'm telling you.
Sloppiest of toppies.
But yeah, no, I didn't really like it so much. I suppose we'll get into it. People in the Goodreads loved the book. They thought it was mind-changing.
I did see a couple of them. Yeah. I saw literally. He said this book will make you laugh and cry.
Yeah, I didn't.
Tall order.
I wasn't entertained, and that's a problem for me.
Tall order.
Don't give me a plot, no problem. Don't give me any characters that I care for, which is maybe a bit harsh because I think a lot of people did care for them. But entertain me, and I don't know.
I just thought like the book was built on a very, very shaky foundation, and it didn't build well from then. Like literally, from I knew what the book was about, I was like, this is going in a bad direction. There's bound to be no plot. There's bound to be like a subpar execution. And they just threw all of my least favourite tropes in all at the same time.
Go on, let's go. You go first. Sorry.
Our main character is Louisa. Louisa is 17 years old, a foster kid, and an aspiring artist. Not the most lucrative field to go into, not unless you have a couple hundred years to wait around for your shit paintings to become collector's items. Louisa is nursing a broken heart after the loss of Fish, her best friend. Louisa, with a backpack full of spray paint, sneaks into an art auction ready to Banksy the whole place as a protest against the commodification of her beloved art. Instead, she marks a painting with a tiny red fish in the corner in memory of her friend and is promptly dashed out of the auction. First of all, everybody on that security team should be fired immediately because did they not search her on her way in? Every time I've been to a museum, the security team are a bunch of jerk-offs who don't give a shit about what you're bringing in, as long as it's small enough to fit in your pocket. But they make a point of checking bags.
Yeah.
Every time I've been to a museum, Tate Modern, whatever it is.
I was in Italy. I was actually in Venice, and there's a museum in Venice. I couldn't tell you what it is. I never saw the inside of it. But I was queuing up, and they checked my bags, and they saw 3 rum bottles, and they just said, "Nope, get out." They said, "Get out." I was like, "What?" And they said,
"Were they sealed? Were they closed sealed?"
They didn't check. They just opened it. They said, "Yeah."
They heard clink clink. They heard the bottles. They went, "Oh no."
Yeah. So normally when there's expensive pieces, this should be best.
Do you think you're the first in our bloodline to get thrown out of a museum in Venice?
No, definitely.
It's got to be, right?
Definitely. I can't say I'm proud of it, but you'll know now, I suppose. Say something.
That's me.
Something wrong.
That's you.
Is that me? Wait. Oh, my thing's dead.
How long has it been dead for?
I don't know. You feel like you want to just start again? We can't start again.
It is what it is. Do you do it?
Yeah, it's the start of the video. People just click off, straight away. There's the audio shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably better.
I had an extremely risky joke that I omitted from my first thing because I was just like, maybe not.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that, isn't it?
I write it down, but in the moment, I'm always gonna know what to do. But I omitted it. I'll tell you the joke after though. But
you probably forget.
It was quite. Yeah.
It's a clanger.
Absolute clanger. Absolute clanger. Like slap the cuffs on. Clanger. In this world where Diddy documentaries are coming out, you gotta be wise. Our main character is Louisa. Louisa is 17 years old, she's a foster kid and an aspiring artist. It's not the most lucrative field to go into, not unless you have a couple hundred years to wait around for your piece of shit paintings to become collector's items. Anyway, Louisa is nursing a broken heart after the loss of Fish, her best friend. Louisa, with a backpack full of spray paint, sneaks into an art auction, ready to Banksy the whole place as a protest against the commodification of her beloved art. Instead, she marks a painting with a tiny red fish in the corner in memory of her friend and is promptly dashed out of the auction. First of all, everybody on that security team should be fired immediately because did they not search her on her way in? Yeah. Every time I've been to a museum, security team are a bunch of jerk-offs who don't care about what you're bringing in as long as it's small enough to fit in your pocket. But they make a point of checking bags. Every time I've been to a museum, whatever gallery.
I wonder if the author was trying to get us to feel sorry for Louisa. Which is a very strange way.
So,
she deserved it.
As she should have gotten thrown out. You know when they throw them out through the doors in the movie, Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince.
One thing about this book feels undeniable. One thing about this book which is undeniable is that it's filled with good, clever writing. But that made me wonder, does the author think that's all that's required? A showy writing style designed to make readers ooh and ah at every paragraph? I suppose if you like that sort of thing, fair enough. For me, it actively ruined the immersiveness of the story. Some of the most powerful and captivating lines would trigger a kind of mental detour. I'd stop reading and start daydreaming about the philosophical point being made. The book became a thinking exercise rather than a narrative experience, which meant I absolutely missed things along the way. And for a book this long, I'm not pausing, rewinding, or rereading. I press on. But here's a few examples of what I mean. The book reads, because in an ugly place, he was born with so much beauty inside him that it was like an act of rebellion. In a world full of sledgehammers, his art was a declaration of war. Or this. There's another line. This was in spring, but nobody had told winter, so the temperature was still below freezing at night. Now, not every line is jaw-dropping or mind-blowing, but many of them are just abstract enough to derail the momentum. Nobody had told winter is a perfect example. It's clever, poetic, and it's distracted enough to pull you out of the plot. What I'm trying to say is this. If I wanted poetry, I'd fuck a poet. If you're not going to give me a compelling plot, then give me a character. Give me a character with real depth. I want to know them. I want to understand them. I want to wish that they were my friends. Instead, I felt like I was being asked to admire the prose rather than live inside the story. And for me, that just isn't enough. Do you think that's a bad strategy to rely on poetry to carry a story? Or are you giving points for the effort?
No, it's definitely a bad strategy to rely on poetry and the quality of being poetic. As if that's going to make your uninteresting story interesting. It won't. People, at best, you'll get, oh, look at that, that's cool.
Yeah.
You did. And then
but it's definitely not lazy writing. Because that takes time.
It's not.
And effort.
It's not lazy writing. I would say it is a form of lazy writing. Because it's like cutting corners on all the important things as opposed and just kind of doing your own thing. But it's not lazy in terms of...
He's a failed poet. That's what he is.
Maybe, and it's like, aren't they all? But Mal said I fucking fight. I was like, I wouldn't. She's up standards, But yeah, no, I don't think it's not. Just because you're putting work into something doesn't mean you're not lazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I worded that wrong then, but maybe I do need to hang around with some poets. At least Fredrik Backman had the decency to be straight up with us. I knew this was coming, but it doesn't make the gut punch sting any less. Immediately after our opening, we are hit with a substantial time skip to the tune of 25 solar revolutions. Generally, I'm not a fan of time skips, as anybody who has ever seen this channel will know. However, I'm especially critical of ones that venture well into the decades because why do I care? There's a reason TikTok and YouTube Shorts do the whole 10-second video thing. Anything longer than 10 seconds and you sort of stop caring. 25 years is an insane amount of time to still care about something. Imagine, for example, if you will, dear brother, I said to you, Elijah, I've got some bad news for you. Hold on, what's going on? What are you going to say? And I say, back in 2001, you went, no, I don't care, bro. It can't be that bad. It happened 20 years ago.
And if it's 20 years in the future, I definitely don't care.
Oh, my dad, I'm not going to be alive that long. This book is meant to make me cry, remember? I'm not going to cry about something that happened 25 years ago, sorry.
No, it takes away the stakes.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. You can't even wonder, our hero is going to save the world. Well, we've seen the world 25 years in the future, so we know nothing too bad happens. But some guy's art, there was an art catastrophe, I guess. But again, like, there was no excitement in the premise of the story, you know, really weird and random characters. I'll get onto that a bit later. Massive time skip thrown in right in the first third of the book. I'm just like, okay, this is all my least favorite things.
And it also just, I don't mind the time skip, but don't give us a time skip to then just tell us what happened before. It doesn't make any sense.
People love doing that.
It doesn't make any sense. Just let us live it.
Let us live it. This is why I said cut what's her name, Louisa, out the whole book, bro. Just make it about these boys.
Let me read my point before you read it, before I say it. Clearly, you've read my notes already.
Must have done.
So we're essentially given two stories. The first takes place in the present day, where Ted is tasked with carrying out his dearly departed friend's final wish. Ted's friend, the artist, asks him to track down Louisa, a homeless girl, and give her his best work, his most famous multi-million-dollar painting. That's story one. Then, crammed in alongside it, we have the flashback narrative of Ted and the artist's childhood. The setup is that Louisa asks Ted's questions about his past, and each question triggers a flashback. I won't pretend I co-signed this structure. I was skeptical going in. But once I settled into the rhythm of the book, I have to admit I enjoyed both stories. In the present day plot, we get Ted and Louisa accidentally leaving $1 million painting on a train, followed by them getting beaten up and robbed. It's chaotic, tense, and genuinely entertaining. Meanwhile, the flashback story is packed with enough madness to keep things moving. Murder, abuse, and saving the best till last, farts. Because we kept talking about farts. Now, anytime a book uses flashbacks, which is, let's be honest, it's basically every book these days, we like to ask one question. Which story is the Assassin's Creed and which one is the Desmond? In other words, which storyline did you actually care about and which one felt like an interruption that you had to sit through to get back to the good stuff? And for once, I genuinely can't tell. Both stories held my attention, both were entertaining in their own way, and honestly, at the very least, isn't that a win for the author? He didn't write just one engaging story, he wrote two. That being said, I can't shake the feeling that the book might have been more powerful if the events had been told chronologically. So I'm curious, do you think the flashback structure actually worked here, or should the author take a leaf out of this guy's should other authors take a leaf out this guy's proverbial book, or do you sanction a blanket ban on flashbacks?
I would never say blanket ban on anything.
I thought you was going to say absolutely.
No, well, listen, I will sleep easy if I never see another flashback. Put it that way. I'm not going to like cry if they stop showing up or anything like that. Having said that, I have seen flashbacks done worse than this.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
No,
so I don't think this was terrible.
I don't think there's zero credit to be given.
Put it this way, I don't understand why he did it, but I think he did it okay. That's why I think. And which of the stories do you think was more engaging? Because I was difficult to.
I would say the present. Louisa.
You thought the present day?
Yeah, Louisa and Ted.
But I thought that was the more yeah. I think they were both a bit pointless, but I think the author did well to try and keep us engaged. I'm not going to say I was hanging on the end of every sentence, but I was invested, you know. Were they going to get the painting back? What's his name going to kill his father?
Fewer characters as well, and I just feel like fewer characters often I know correlation doesn't equal causation, but it often makes for like a stronger plot because you're not, especially if it's book form, you're not like remembering as many faces, etc.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm just dumb and I can't remember enough faces, but I
no
definitely
faces
prefer.
in here, mate.
I definitely prefer the smaller teams.
For me,
So we jump.
I was gonna say for me, the more the merrier.
Men as well.
That would be your first question, wouldn't it?
Don't try to flip this on me. So we jump back in time 25 years. On an abandoned pier, we meet our charismatic quartet: Jaw, Ali, Ted, and Kim Kim. 3 brothers and a sister bonded not by blood, but by their shared status as outcasts and their equally bruising home lives. I say this every time we have a book with a time skip, but 4 characters is plenty. So why not just make the story about our 4 friends and get rid of the vandalizing Vix and Louisa? If you want to write a story about a kid who paints, then do that. All this extra stuff is just making the book longer for no reason.
I was wondering if do you think they added in the whole Ted and Louisa bit, because without that it would be a young adult book.
I suppose, and like now it's like
He wants to read about 4 kids.
Yeah, I
Which
suppose.
adult? Maybe that
Yeah, I
was
suppose.
his strategy, but
You've got to have like adult main characters in there, I suppose. This is what I said. Like
Maybe
pick one of them or whatever. But what they could do, and this is what authors have done before, the book starts where they're like children, 10-year time skip, another 5-year time skip, whatever, and then by the middle of the book they're adults. It is heavy-handed, but they kind of have the I want energy when they do it, because they know it's a disgrace, but they do it anyway.
Do you want to go again? Because I got one more.
I'm finding this book really difficult to write notes for. I'm
Yeah.
very conscious of my propensity for writing down all my thoughts at the beginning and then not leaving space for things that happen in the middle or end. But this book reads like one of those actionless bloody memoirs that you love so much, Elijah, and so I'm stuck in this purgatory of waiting for the plot to be bothered to show up so I can get stuck in.
You know, the reason why I selected this book is because, and the other book we read, this was the best book of 2025 in its category, so non-fiction. Can you see why people have rated it as highly? Because I think we've read I don't know if we read a few other
Honestly,
non-fiction,
it's
because
not
These
not
Summer
the-
Storms, it beat These Summer Storms, which I don't agree with.
Wait, so hold on, say that again. It beat
These Summer
and you
Storms.
thought These Summer Storms was
I
better?
thought These Summer Storms. Well,
I'm gonna have to go back on my notes and check.
no. I'm gonna take that back. I think this author is better, and obviously his wordplay and blah blah blah. Yeah, so bloody amazing, whatever. But I mean, book for book,
Which one would you rather read again?
Exactly, that's the question I wanted to answer. And These Summer Storms every time, because this wasn't that entertaining. It was a little bit
fair enough.
pointless, and it beat What We Can Know as well. Which I mean, anything would beat that. And I think it beat Buckeye. Did it beat Buckeye? Yeah, it beat Buckeye.
Wow, okay.
So
That
it beat
surprises me.
everything.
That one does surprise me, to be fair, but
Because Buckeye was alright.
it was all right. I don't think this is the worst book ever either. This is what I'm
It beat
saying.
the
Like,
Buffalo Hunter. Oh no, that's a different category actually. I think that's a different category.
is it? Cause it's got
horror. It's horror.
yeah.
category.
It's got demons and that in it.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the worst book ever. Honestly, it's not the worst book ever. It's just I just don't think it was. Maybe you're right. Author does deserve credit that he managed to like pull it back from the brink sort of thing. Because I don't think it had a solid foundation. I don't think it was like built up well. I didn't really like any of the characters.
And I thought it started slow as well. I found it difficult to get into it as
for
well.
sure. There was obviously some action in there later on.
Yeah. It started to
I
pick
don't know
up
if you have
towards
one
the end.
more.
Yeah, I got one. 2 things really bug me about this book. First, why do 2 or sometimes 3 old friends sit down and retell their life story to a random stranger? Why couldn't we just experience their childhoods for ourselves? Why did Louisa need to be in this story at all? Beyond acting as a prompt for flashbacks, she serves very little purpose. And her constant reminiscing about fish, I found it tiresome. I didn't care at all. Second, why are they gifting a complete stranger a multi-million-dollar painting in the first place? This is the emotional and logical core of the book, yet it never fully made sense to me. The justification felt thin, especially when weighed against everything else the story had going for it. Because here's the thing, the book didn't need Louisa. Some of the strongest material comes from the family drama, the abusive, alcoholic father who treats his entire family like a punching bag, the son actively plotting to kill him, the group of friends entering Kim King into an art competition. And that's just naming a few examples. There was more than enough compelling content already baked into the story. Louisa, for me, felt less like a character and more like a plot device, and an annoying one at that.
And there's still one more choice I can't wrap my head around. Why is the artist called the artist throughout the book, while everybody else gets a name? As far as I can tell, we're never given a clear reason for this. And personally, I'd never recommend this approach. It strips away intimacy. It impersonalizes the character. We're supposed to connect with these people, to feel like we know them. But in this case, we're not even on first name terms. So I'm curious to what you think. Did Louisa add something meaningful to the story, or was she just a narrative clutch? And did the gift of the painting work for you, or did it feel forced?
The whole painting thing felt forced to me, in my opinion. Like I said, it doesn't make for, unless you're an art aficionado, and even then, because these are
worse, we can't see the painting. I think like the front of the book had something to do with it, or whatever.
It surprises me that you didn't like the referring to as the artist, because you loved it in Tenet. It was you and my dad's favourite movie, where the protagonist is called the protagonist. The whole movie. Did you not like that?
No, I didn't like it.
Fair enough. I'll take that as a victory for me, because I've been a long-standing slanderer, shameless slanderer of Tenet. I would burn it if I could. But yeah, so no, I didn't really think like Louisa was very compelling as a. You have to remember, I'm not that interested in the story to begin with. So there's it's a long way back.
No, I'm trying to figure out why. Why is she there?
Yeah. I hear that. It's a very, very long way back.
Did she improve the book?
Paintings, and I can't even see the painting I don't care about, like you said. So it's just, bro. Do you see what I'm saying when they're like these? It's just a long way back when you don't really build on anything entertaining.
Yeah. Was it just one more you got?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got the action I was asking for. Credit to this book. It's very memoir-y, but it's not overly boringly memoir-y. If you're still with me there. One by one, Louisa in the present meets the former members of the gang from 2.5 decades ago, all connected by the connection to the art world. There is even a stealth mission scene, given beautiful and uniquely creative life in the form of a reverse heist, where Louisa and Ted break into a museum to return a painting. However, in true cop-out style, we don't get any tidy resolutions or straight answers as to what becomes of our characters, just more of the same memoir-y stuff. Because I knew it was coming, I feel less sucker punched by it. To be fair, like not having an ending sort of thing, I knew that was coming. Didn't really bother me. I suppose in the people who read memoir-y sort of stuff, they kind of want that open-ended thing. It must be a desirable factor of literature, I suppose.
The book rated so highly, and it makes me question my own decisions, my own what I believe about books and stuff like that, because I just don't think it was that good. Or that great, and
everyone's lying to seem smart.
No, I just think everybody's wrong, and I'm the only right person.
Even if I agree, I'm still wrong.
So yeah, I think Kim should go in the bin. I just don't get it.
Oh no!
What's
that? Does that count as racist? I don't think it does.
Surely, can it?
It can't. Can it?
I don't know. I took the Nick out his name.
Yeah, he might.
No, but Kim.
It sounds like
is Kim actually an Asian sort of? Because
there's
a lot of Kims over here.
I believe it's. No, but it's like short for Kimberly, whereas over there it's Kim. That's their name. That's their name.
You know what? I think
Kim
you
Possible.
made it. Yeah.
I believe it's Vietnamese. I'm gonna double check it after, just because.
Yeah.
What would you recommend the book first of all?
No. And if I was to rate it out of 5...
Nobody asked you what you'd rate it. But what would you rate it?
I don't know. I just didn't care for it.
I said a very high one. That's what I said. Very high.
Yeah, I would have went to 1 is hard.
Very high though. Yeah, very high God. 1 though.
1 is hard.
Very high 1.
1.
Very, very high 1.
Everybody's
not the very high part.
People switched off from the beginning, but people who didn't, they just switched off now. They just switched it.
Turn your TV back on. Turn your TV back on. No, but seriously, if I said very low 2, would that be better? Would you feel better?
That's much better.
That's not much better.
No, it's not much better. I think we should start rating books in terms of enjoyment. I think that makes it
out of what? 5?
Yeah, 5 in terms of enjoyment.
Out of enjoyment.
Because whether it's a good book, I think it probably is a good book. I don't think I would argue against that, but I didn't enjoy it.
Read more erotica, it'll be 5 out of 5s.
Yeah.
What's it, a liver and lock?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. It's quite slow. It wasn't entertaining. There wasn't any good characters. Oh, sorry, I didn't like any of the characters.
But one is harsh, apparently. Didn't like anything about it, but one.
The writing was good. The writing was good. The poetry was good, should I say? And
That's where the one comes from.
you got one thing right. Fair enough. I suppose that's it then.
This book doesn't deserve a quote. It doesn't deserve one.
I didn't want to listen to you any longer anyway.
You always must have the last word.
Yes. Till next time. Cool.
That felt long. Oh, it's because we had that mishap at the beginning.
Hopefully I remember in post-production.